Chantelle, known as the Black Widow in the mountaineering community, was as fascinating as she was controversial. Her life, marked by a natural talent for climbing, was constantly surrounded by rumors, conflicts, and scandals. From her beginnings in the French Alps to her tragic and mysterious death in the mountains, Chantelle defied social norms, broke hearts, and conquered peaks, leaving an unforgettable legacy. Chantelle was born in a small village at the foot of the French Alps, a place where winters were long and the mountains dominated the horizon. From an early age, she showed a special connection with nature, excelling in outdoor activities. In her early years, she practiced alpine skiing, but soon became drawn to greater heights. Mountaineering offered something more, a physical and mental challenge that led her to obsess over conquering the highest peaks. At 22, she obtained certification as a mountain guide, a significant achievement at a time when mountaineering remained a predominantly male domain. Her ambition and determination were evident, and she quickly stood out in local competitions. In a famous ice climbing competition in the Alps, she competed against 25 of the strongest climbers in Europe, securing an impressive third place. Most notably, she was the only woman in the competition, which attracted media attention and recognition from the climbing community. Soon, Chantelle was accepted into the prestigious National Mountaineering Association of France, a feat that few achieved at her age. Determined to expand her horizons, she organized expeditions to the Andes, where she summited 3 peaks over 6,000 meters. One of them, Alice Caran, she descended by paraglider, an audacious achievement that solidified her reputation as an exceptional and fearless climber. This success led to an invitation to join an Everest expedition in 1991. Everest represented the pinnacle of mountaineering, and for Chantelle, it was a childhood dream. However, her first attempt to reach the summit was unsuccessful. Although she didn't make it to the top, this attempt marked a turning point in her life. In her journal, she wrote, "Climbing Everest without supplemental oxygen and in alpine style. That is my true challenge, my dream." From that moment on, she decided to focus solely on peaks over 8,000 meters, tackling them in the purest style possible, without oxygen, with minimal equipment, and relying only on her strength and skill. Her determination was unbreakable, but soon another side of her personality emerged, her ability to attract and manipulate those around her. At base camps, Chantelle became a magnetic figure. Her beauty and charisma drew both men and women, but they also created tensions. Rumors spread about how she used her charm to obtain favors and resources, especially from men. Some witnesses claimed she enjoyed the competition among them, intentionally provoking them. This behavior led to open conflicts, such as during her second attempt on Everest in 1991, when 2 climbers fought physically for her attention, even throwing rocks at each other. After the failed Everest attempt, Chantelle began a relationship with American climber Thor Kerr. Thor was known for his physical strength and dedication to mountaineering, but also for his kind nature and willingness to help. Together, they planned an expedition to Mount Fitzroy in Argentina, one of the world's most challenging mountains. However, their relationship began to show cracks even before the trip. Chantelle told Thor she had no money for the plane ticket, leading him to work overtime to fund both of their flights. Yet, this sacrifice seemed insufficient for her. During the expedition, their attempts to reach the summit failed, and their relationship deteriorated rapidly. In a last effort to save both the expedition and their relationship, Chantelle gave Thor an ultimatum. "If we reach the summit today, everything will be fine between us." Thor accepted the challenge, pushing his body to the limit in extreme conditions. However, he suffered a catastrophic fall, leaving him with multiple fractures, including a severely broken arm. Despite his condition, Chantelle showed no compassion. The next day, she announced that she would continue her ascent with another team and ended the relationship. Devastated both physically and emotionally, Thor returned home, where he began seeing a psychologist to cope with the trauma. Shortly after, Chantelle set her sights on K2 in Pakistan, known as the Savage Mountain, due to its extreme danger. This peak, considered even more challenging than Everest, presented a new challenge for her. However, her behavior once again sparked controversy. In a Muslim country with strict social norms, Chantelle disregarded local customs by wearing what was considered inappropriate clothing and walking alone in public, leading to tense and dangerous situations. On K2, she joined a Russian-American team without authorization, violating Pakistani laws that required each climber to remain with their original group. This action was not only illegal, but also jeopardized the expedition's stability. Among the team members was her ex-boyfriend, Thor Kerr, who reluctantly accepted her presence despite their past. During the ascent, Chantelle stood out for her ability to acclimate quickly and handle high altitude with ease. However, she once again took advantage of others' resources and efforts. While the men carried the equipment, set up ropes, and forged paths through the snow, she carried a light backpack, conserving her energy. Despite this, her determination remained unshaken. On August 3, 1992, Chantelle reached the summit of K2, becoming only the fourth woman to do so. This achievement was significant, but came at a high cost. During the descent, she lost her sunglasses, leaving her temporarily blind due to the intense UV radiation at extreme altitude. Unable to descend on her own, she sought refuge in an ice cave. She was rescued by Alexei Nikiforov, another expedition member who found her nearly frozen. With great effort, Alexei and Thor managed to bring her down to base camp, battling extreme conditions. However, Thor's role in the rescue was downplayed by both Chantelle and other climbers. In her memoirs, she barely mentioned his help, leaving Thor with a deep sense of injustice. Upon returning to France, Chantelle was celebrated as a hero. The press described her as a bold and fearless climber. But within the mountaineering community, her reputation remained controversial. Many accused her of using men to achieve her goals and of showing little regard for others' safety. It was during this time that she became widely known as the Black Widow, a nickname that encapsulated both her allure and her alleged danger. Chantelle did not stop. She continued climbing 8,000-meter peaks, challenging not only mountains but also her critics. However, her focus on pure mountaineering, combined with her disregard for norms and risks, only solidified her place as a polarizing figure in climbing history. Her final expedition in 1998 took her to Dhaulagiri in Nepal. Despite warnings from an Italian team about an unstable glacier, she decided to continue. During a snowstorm, the Italians descended to avoid danger, but Chantelle and her Sherpa remained in their tent. When the storm cleared, the Italians returned to find their tent buried under snow. Digging through, they discovered the bodies of Chantelle and her companion. She had a broken neck and a deformed jaw, suggesting that a block of ice might have fallen on them. However, the lack of witnesses left the exact circumstances of her death a mystery. Her body was transported to France, where she was cremated. In her will, she had left detailed instructions for her funeral, including playing a recording of her laughter, but her wishes were not fully honored due to their complexity. Despite her tragic end, Chantelle remains a polarizing figure in mountaineering history. For some, she was a brave and visionary climber who broke barriers in a male-dominated sport. For others, she was an opportunist who endangered others for her own ambitions. As climber Daniel Mazur once said, Chantelle was unique. She didn't need big sponsors or tons of support. She simply loved the mountains. She had the spirit of a winner, even if her approach often enraged those around her. The community never knew how to handle her. Today, Chantelle is remembered as a woman who lived by her own rules, facing both the highest peaks and the harshest criticism. Her story is a reminder of the extremes people will go to in pursuit of their dreams, and the limits that even the strongest cannot always surpass.